Hey guys, this is Justin Coffin for the 330 Sports Show. Joining me is Danielle Vuletich from, she's right now outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're in Moon Township. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So Dani is a basketball player at Robert Morris University. She's a freshman and played locally here, a year at South Range and 3 years at Western Reserve. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, and I can speak from experience because I remember Dani very, very young. I was coaching at Boardman, and we both had very good teams, and she put up a 20-point, 20 rebound as a freshman. It just killed us on the boards, and they ended up beating us by like 6 or 7 points. So I remember that game and that performance very, very specifically. So you caught my eye at a very, very young age. So let me ask you this. So let me just start with this and we'll kind of work our way back. How has the transition from you kind of always being that team's star, that team's leading player, best player, leading scorer, whatever, to now transitioning and now you're kind of the young pup again as a freshman? What's that like going from the star to now like fighting for playing time?
Well, it's a battle because like now that we're playing at the highest level of college, every girl on our team was the best on their high school team, their AAU team. So there's a lot of talent. And being a freshman, there are upperclassmen that have had years of experience. And so obviously like fighting for more playing time and fighting for that spot is pretty hard. I'm getting some minutes here and there, so it's working out for me. I'm learning. We just have to learn. That's like the base part of it, because the transition, I've learned so many more things, and applying that to the game, that's what has to happen, from practice to applying it to games. And then you have to perform in the games to make sure you get more playing time. And then the coaches are always there. They're understanding and everything. So if you want extra work, they'll give you workouts to do, and you just have to learn. It's a whole learning experience. It's very new, and there's 7 freshmen on the team this year, including me. So it's all a new learning experience for all of us, which is nice, because since there's 7 of us, we are close knit. We're a very close knit group, and we have each other's backs along with the upperclassmen. But it's just the transition. If it wasn't for the other freshmen and for the upperclassmen being so nice, then the transition would be harder. But it was pretty easy transitioning from high school to college. But it's just a learning experience and getting that experience that the upperclassmen have right now.
That's great. That's great. And that's pretty cool that you guys can come in a big class of 7 to kind of, bond and build that relationship early. That's great. So Dani, talk to us. There's a lot of kids in our area that are, being recruited, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, whatever it might be. Talk to us a little bit about the recruiting process, and talk to us a little bit about how you made your decision and what was the best fit for you.
Okay, yeah. So the recruiting process was probably one of the most fun things in my experience, because you get to travel to all these different places and learn what all these different colleges have to offer. But like, my advice to kids that are getting recruited right now, I just keep your options open. And when you fall in love with the school, make sure like you make a list, but don't like fall for that school automatically. So, because you might get more options down the road. And then you're not only going for sports, you have to keep in mind that you're going for academics as well. So you want a good academic school along with what will like satisfy you for the sporting side of it. And that's ultimately what I kept in the back of my head when I was getting recruited. My first offer was from YSU when I was I wasn't even a sophomore yet. I was going into my sophomore year, and they offered me pretty early, but everyone told me in my advice, they said, keep your options open, like you're still developing. And that's what I did. I kept my options open, and then I went on these visits. But ultimately, I chose Robert Morris because of the academic side of it and because of the basketball side and the coaches. I felt like I had a good connection with the coaches. And that's another big part of it. You need to like the coaching staff, because if you don't like the coaching staff, then there's no point in going to that school, because the coaching staff needs to be there for you and you need to have that trust between the coaches and the players. So that's why I chose Robert Morris, for the academics, for the coaches, and then for like basketball in general.
That's great. That's great. I'm
hmm
I'm glad you brought up the academic side of things too.
hmm
What are you studying right now? What are you focusing on?
Well, originally I went in as a nursing major because my whole thing was I wanted to be a peds, go into little kids, want to help little kids. I just want to make an impact. And I've always liked little kids, and I feel like I'm really good with little kids. But when I got here, I was like, yes, I'm going to go into nursing. Like, this is going to be great. I'm going to do great. And then it hit me like the first semester, the first semester came, and I'm swamped with all this work, and I'm like so stressed. It was very stressful. So in basketball, it goes on all year. So even in the fall, we still had practices and everything and film sessions. And my anatomy physiology class was online, which made it even harder. So that I called my mom, and I would call my coaches, and I'm like, I think I want to change my major. So right now I am majoring in sports psychology
Okay.
with, and I'm planning on double minoring in education and special education. So I could still, so hopefully with that degree, I could teach while coach at the same time, because that's what I've always wanted to do when I was little. I wanted to coach basketball and teach. So hopefully that's where it gets me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you got the right personality for it, and I think you'll make a good one day. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So, let me ask this. So, being a student athlete,
Mm-hmm.
the basketball grind, the studying grind, all that stuff. Take us through. I know no 2 days might not be exactly the same, but walk us through like a day in your life.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So, yes, so we have practices depending on our schedules. So, yesterday we had an earlier practice because the majority of the girls on our team had late classes. So,
Mhm.
depending on what everyone's classes are, we schedule our practices around them. So, because we focus on academics, because student always comes before athlete. So yesterday, since we are preparing for an upcoming game, we had a film session yesterday at 7:30 in the morning, and that lasted for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then after that, we go out on the court and we get warmed up. So our practice will start around 8, and then it'll end around like 10, 10:15. And then yesterday we do this session called ACL prevention, and our team physical therapist comes in, and he takes us through exercises to strengthen our muscles so we could prevent an ACL injury in our program, because no one wants an ACL injury. So
Right.
that's, yeah, so good that we do that. And then all of our classes were actually remote yesterday because of the big snowstorm.
Sure.
But usually on Tuesdays, I have class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't have class on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays.
Wow.
So that's nice. But Tuesday's my heavy day. So Tuesday, I have 3 classes, and that's my physiological psychology class, my humanities class, and then my public speaking and persuasion class.
Okay.
hmm
All right. All right.
So yeah, so that's my
You're
day
very busy.
on, yes, so that's my day on like a school day when I have classes and everything. But on a day like today, I just wake up and go to practice, maybe get an extra workout in. And since we have a game tomorrow, we do this thing called a lift stretch. So we're stretching, but like we're also doing some like strengthening incorporated with that.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And speaking of, I believe your next two games, they are
Mhm.
against your hometown team, Youngstown State, the Penguins.
Yes, they are.
So
Mhm.
does that add a little extra special element to it for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it does, especially because like they're one of the schools that recruited me, and that's the school that everyone goes to back home. So all my friends go there, and that's the school that has always been like down the street from me. And my grandparents went there, my parents went there, so that was like the school. So,
Mhm.
but I mean, it does add a little element, but at the end of the day, I'm just there playing basketball and I'm just enjoying what I do.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool too. Choosing
Mhm.
Robert Morris, that you get to play YSU twice a year. This case, I believe, three times this year. Um,
Mhm.
so that's pretty neat. That people back home, it's close enough for them to come see you, but you also get
Mhm.
at least a non-home game in Youngstown every year.
Exactly.
So that's really
Uh-huh.
neat.
Mhm. Super.
So Dani, let me ask you this too. You've been
Mhm.
all county, you've been, I think, all state, you've broken school records. I mean, against us, you went 20-20, and that's probably where Coach Barnes got you on the radar. You set all these
Mhm.
school marks and records, but let me ask you this. What is your favorite basketball memory? It could be going back to being a little kid or to yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's hard. I'm gonna have wow. You got me on this one. It's definitely like winning a district championship either my freshman, sophomore, or senior year. I think it's my senior year. That was my best memory, winning the district championship with, because that's like my last year,
Mhm.
and unfortunately we lost in the semifinals and regionals, but that was like the one thing that our senior class we wanted to achieve before we headed out, and that was a very good game for us.
Mhm.
So I think that's what my favorite memory would have to be.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't talked to him for a little while, but Coach Miller, I always know, did a great job with you guys. And
Mhm.
and that was a really solid team you guys had last year. So
Yes.
that's cool. Yeah, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but
Oh no, you're okay.
figure I had to ask you that. So
Mhm.
let me just get you out on one more question here. Um,
Okay.
I guess a two-part question. What are your
Alright.
goals the rest of this season? And what are your goals the rest of your college basketball career?
Okay, so starting off with the my goals for this season, obviously I want to get better
Mhm.
and develop more. Even though I might not be getting like a lot of playing time, hopefully getting more playing time down the stretch as I get better and as I am developing. And then for the future, hopefully I learn from all my mistakes like I made my freshman year, and having that experience, I could help teach the new freshmen coming in while also still focusing on myself and getting better, and maybe even like playing more minutes and having like an impact on this team like out on the court as well. But that's the basketball side of it, but
Mhm.
I can't leave out the academic side of it because the academic side is just as important. I've always been a straight A student, so I am aiming for those straight A's. I have one semester down to straight A's, so a couple more to go, but that's what I am ultimately aiming for my career and academics as
That-
well.
That's fantastic. A
Mhm.
true student athlete. So I lied. I have one more question for you.
That's okay.
What advice would you give to, let's say, a freshman in high school that might be on a similar path as you? Good student, good athlete, or maybe you hit the reset button, you go back to your previous, to your own self
Mhm.
in your freshman year of high
Mhm.
school. What piece of advice would you give Dani Vuletich as a freshman in high school?
Dribble the ball. Just every single day you need to pick up a basketball and do something. Dribbling, shooting. If like freshman year, I wish I would have started lifting more and working out more, because if you want to be a college athlete, yes, you could come in, like I came in, I by far was not the strongest person. And even in high school, I could tell you that like I was a toothpick. I was so skinny. But in now, like I actually have some muscle on me. So in college, they'll develop you, but getting that like kick start that'll
Mhm.
help you so much. But every day you need to be in the gym or lifting and you have to be in shape. The college pace compared to high school is so much faster and there's a lot of running. Coaches like transition offense a lot.
Mhm.
So whenever you could get out and run, you could get out and run. But I would also say if you can, be a part of an AAU team that even from a younger age, I started, I think 6th grade, I started playing AAU. It could be younger than that, older than that, but make sure like if you want to, you could get on an AAU team, travel and have like other coaches see you, go to exposure events, and maybe like if you could get in the gym, have your coach do extra workouts with you, just
Mhm.
anything extra will help.
No doubt, no doubt. Well,
Hmm.
well, Dani, we thank you for taking time out of your day and
Oh, thank you.
appreciate you. You are a
Hmm.
great example for younger kids to look up to, and I think
Oh, thank you.
you're going to make a great coach one day, and you're going to be a teacher, psychologist, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna do a great job. So keep up with
Hmm.
your goal, stay on track, and we wish you all the best. I know you got
Oh, thank
Youngstown
you.
State the next two
Hmm.
games. So
Yes, we do.
if you guys are watching this, you guys I believe are home on Thursday and
Hmm.
at YSU on
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes,
So
correct.
so
Hmm.
anybody watching this show, get out to the Beagley Center on Saturday. Go, Dani, you're wearing number 4. Is that correct?
Yes, I am wearing
Go
number 4.
go check out number 4 for Robert Morris and as they take on the Penguins. So Dani,
Oh,
again, thank you so much and have a great day.
thank you so much. Have a great day.